Good morning, man. Good morning. It's probably about like 5:30 in the morning right now. 5:30 in the morning, going on 6. Just coming from the gym. And I actually was about to talk about one thing, but I actually seen this video. This guy, I think his name is VNF Vlog. So shout out to him, because the subject matter that he was talking about was something that I'm actually going through. And he was talking about how Western Express is forcing drivers to, they got it set up or updated in their trucks to where these trucks can't idle. After a certain amount of time, these trucks shut down. So I think he said after 60 seconds, you know what I'm saying, after you set your brakes, you know, the truck shut down or whatnot. So yeah, that's not a good thing. Especially right now, it's in the wintertime, man. It's cold. Especially if you know what I'm saying, you on the East Coast, Midwest, it's pretty much cold through the whole country. Because places that I travel to in the South, you know, they usually be having great weather. You know, it's been kind of cold down there too. So, but yeah, I know about this good and well. And I'm going to empathize and sympathize with the drivers on this one, because usually, you know, when I'm talking about embracing trucking, you know, I'm really speaking in such a sense to tell people they need to toughen up and be realistic about accepting things in trucking. But that right there, man, that ain't cool. That's not cool. Because I went through that. I remember when I worked for Swift, it was within my first week. It was one of my first runs. And I never forget, I had to do a 34-hour reset in Black River Falls, Wisconsin. It was at a Flying J. And it was in the middle of summer. It was in the dead of summer. It was in the summertime. And I think I did my 30. My birthday was on this 34-hour reset, if I'm not mistaken. But it was hot as hell. And you know, Swift at that time, they had I don't know what it is now, but at that time they had their trucks set to shut down after a certain amount of time after the truck been running. And man, I was burning up. I remember I bought a fan. That shit wasn't working, man. I was burnt up in that truck. So I can't remember how I found out. I can't remember if somebody told me or if it was something I researched on YouTube, but I found out how to bypass that no idling feature. And basically, if I can remember, what I did was you had to press that cruise control. Either you shut the cruise control on. I don't know how it is in all other trucks, but in the Freightliner, that little speedometer sign to come on. Hit it on, cut it off, hit it on again, and raise the RPMs up. And that was the way that I bypassed the no idling feature. And I was cool. I was straight after that. You know what I'm saying? So for anybody that's going through that, if you work for Western Express or any other company, they got that type of shit going on in their trucks, maybe you can try that. Or, you know, you can always go on YouTube. Pretty sure somebody gonna have some information that's gonna be up to date on how you can bypass that, because yeah, that ain't cool, man. You know what I'm saying? And then a lot of these company trucks, man, these mega carriers, man, they don't be having APUs on their trucks. Maybe some of these smaller companies might be having APUs on their trucks, but a lot of these mega carriers, when I worked for Swift, no company, I worked for two pretty big companies. I mean, Swift was a big company, I worked for Food Line. Man, ain't none of these trucks had no APUs on their trucks. So it's kind of like, man, a lot of these companies, man, I know Western Express ain't got no APUs, not that I know of, but I could be wrong. But that's kind of that's foul, man. To just, you know what I'm saying, for people not to be able to be comfortable in any type of extreme weather, whether it's cold as hell outside or whether it's hot as hell outside, man. That's not cool. But this is trucking. You know what I'm saying? This is trucking. This is the bullshit that you got to deal with. These companies don't care about you. It's all about the bottom line, and the quicker that you understand that, the better you can function out here. You know, it ain't nothing personal. They all about their bottom line. So, but I'm speaking on this now because I'm actually going through this myself. But by choice, I've been choosing not to idle my truck. And, you know, I was having a lot of DEF problems or after treatment system problems with my truck. And the last major thing that I got fixed and replaced on my truck was a one box. And after that, I quit idling my truck because it's going through all the problems, you know, because I had other DEF issues leading up to that one box. The one box was the final straw. You know what I'm saying? So I learned a lot and started to understand how the after treatment system worked. So once I got that one box changed and replaced, I stopped idling and was just, you know what I'm saying, was forced to deal with the elements. Now I choose to do this because I'm in a different position. You know what I'm saying? My money, my livelihood is really tied up in this shit. So, you know, I gotta be forced to storm it out. You know, it's different for a company driver, man. Like, you know, you got people that's new coming into this industry. You know, it's all different type of shit you already got to get adjusted to, man. The least a motherfucker can be is comfortable. While, you know what I'm saying, they taking their breaks or whatnot. Like, that's tough. That's tough that companies is doing this, but I don't, you know what I'm saying? I don't want to say, well, because I can do it, you can do it, but this is what I'm going through. And I'm pretty comfortable doing it. You know what I'm saying? I got a thick blanket. You know, one of the thick blankets that I got quite a few of them. I got a couple here at the house, and I got one in my truck. You know, them thick blankets that the Mexicans be selling at the flea market. I don't know what the flea market is. It's like in your area, but out here in the Chicagoland area, it's a city called Alta, and they got a big flea market out there. And yeah, that's where I be getting a lot of my shit from. So yeah, I got this blanket from there, quality, and it keep me warm. As a matter of fact, I just bought this from Costco yesterday. Heated blanket. Cause this shit didn't got real. So yeah, man, I forced myself to get acclimated to not idling in whatever different type of weather. Now, as far as cold, like 30 degrees and up, I can handle. You know, tucking myself in my blanket. And what I usually do is, you know, when I park, I know I'm finna get ready to shut down. Most of the time, I'm going to sleep. Like after an hour of shutting down, I'm going to sleep. So what I do is, man, before I shut down, you know, I let the truck get real warmed up, real hot. And then when I know I'm finna get ready to go to sleep, I cut the truck off and, you know, wrap up in my blanket. And a lot of times, you know, something between 35, 40, you know what I'm saying? I could sleep good. But it's been sometimes, man, I done went to sleep and like during the night, man, it done got real cold. And I checked the temperature like, damn, it's in the 20s. So sometimes I'll cut my truck on. I'll cut it on and let it idle warm up. And then I cut it back off. But for me to not have to turn my truck on, That's why I went on here. I'm gonna see what this is talking about because I've had a heating blanket some years ago in a crib. You know what I'm saying? And that thing worked wonders. So I'm gonna see what this is talking about. But yeah, man, just going through death issues and after treatment system issues. For me, I'm choosing not to idle. That's a choice for me. You know what I mean? I'm desperate. It's savage life out here for me. So, and you know what I mean? I understand why companies are doing it because it is expensive. Because when you idle, especially with these new trucks, that shit will fuck up the after treatment system. Definitely. So it's not fair, but I understand why they doing it because in a sense, I'm my own company. And idling, you know, the first 2 years of me having my own truck, I let my shit idle. Because coming from a company driver, that's all I did. That truck stayed on. Because it wasn't my truck. And I didn't, you know what I'm saying? I didn't understand the repairs and the damage that idling can do to these newer trucks with these after treatment systems on there. But yeah, I found out. I had to find out the hard way. So me is a solo operation. Well, being leased onto a company, but still, I'm responsible for my shit. So thinking from a company perspective, I got to do what I got to do. You know what I'm saying? And I got to suffer a little bit, but I'm pretty comfortable with it. It don't even bother me, man. I'm the type of person I can adjust and get acclimated to anything. At first, you know, it used to be hard for me to go to sleep without that truck running because, you know, when it's cold outside or even when it's hot outside, just, you know, a lot of us, we comfortable with the buzz and that slight vibration of the truck running. You know what I'm saying? That's a comfortable feeling once you get used to it. And it was hard for me to fall asleep at first. But eventually I got used to it. And you know something else is weird too that makes me feel comfortable? A lot of people hate parking next to trucks with refrigerated trailers. I don't no more. Because now that I don't idle and I cut my truck off, if I happen to be next to a truck with a refrigerated trailer, you know, they be going on through the night and shit, making all that noise, I actually don't mind it. It actually helped me go to sleep. Most people hate that shit. I used to hate it too. But now I don't mind it. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm just a person. I'm just a trucker out here, man, who know how to get adjusted to the elements, whatever you got to go through. So that's what I'm going through, and that's why I wanted to make this video, cause a touch on this subject, because I'm going through that now. But me not idling my truck, that's by choice. That's by choice, and you know, it's not fair. It's not fair for company drivers to have to go through that. It's not fair. But like I say, I'm doing this by choice because this is my investment, my livelihood on the line. You know what I'm saying? Like when you everybody think being in control of your own shit is just the easiest shit. And these are sacrifices that you got to make. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it's been some nights I done had to freeze my nuts off. You know, don't get it twisted. I cut my truck on if I have to. Like the burning fuel, I'm not worried about burning fuel overnight. But it's that after treatment shit that I'm terrified of. I'm terrified of that shit. And when you go through that shit, you will learn. You will learn. So I don't know, man. If you're a company driver and you got to go through this, you know, I humbly say, you know, just figure out a way to deal with it. First, figure out if you can bypass that shit, because you probably can bypass whatever they got set up on that truck. But if you can't bypass it, then you got to go ahead and figure out a way how to make yourself comfortable. I think that it's easier to make yourself comfortable in the wintertime than it is in the summertime. You know, because in the wintertime, like I said, you can get you a heated blanket, get you some good quality blankets, some sleeping bags, maybe a space heater. You know what I'm saying? It's a little bit easier to get comfortable in the wintertime than it is in the summertime, because in the summertime, you know, you can't idle somewhere in the dead of summer in Texas. A fan is not gonna work. That fan ain't finna do shit but make it worse. Unless you're gonna be one of them people who gonna set up your own homemade AC unit in the window and all that different type of shit. Unless you're gonna do that. But yeah, man, if you're gonna decide to go through with it, man, just try to tough it out, man. Try, you know. But like I say, man, I'm usually tough with telling people, man, you know, you gotta learn how to embrace things that come with trucking. And at the same time, yeah, but I empathize with drivers that gotta go through that, man, because it's already enough you gotta go through, you know, out here to keep your sanity and your peace of mind. And you know, companies is doing that, forcing the trucks not to idle. Now they taking whatever little comfortability that you got left away from you. That shit ain't cool, but that's what come with this shit. You know what I'm saying? And really, that ain't, like I said, companies putting these no idle features on these trucks. That ain't nothing new, because Swift was doing that in 2017 when I first started. So just try to tough your way through it, fam. Just speaking from the perspective of somebody who's choosing to do this. You know, if you're really trying to make it through, man, you can make it through. It's not right, but in a sense, I understand it from a company perspective. So it's tough. It's tough, but you'll be all right, though, man. You'll be all right. You'll be all right. You'll make it through. Stay up, Vonnie EC, another trucker.